And I also think we should talk about in the NFC with Detroit. One of the biggest topics today was Laporta. And Kyle, it's so easy here to be like, he shouldn't be playing the whole thing. You know, did they leapfrog the Eagles yesterday by winning?
No, they stayed the same.
They stayed the
but
same.
The NFL screwed them by putting the game at 1 o'clock because then they don't get to see what's going on.
That was what really fucked them because they got to play. I mean, like, you have to play because if Dallas loses,
you could be the 2 seed.
You could be the 2 seed. And so, like, there's no way of knowing that. And somebody that tells you to sit your guys down, I also think we talked about this with Brandon Staley. He's an easy target. People love to, like, make a point when it's time to make the point with a guy that's easy to make a point on. And, like, Brandon, when he lost Mike Williams, people said, you idiot, the whole thing. And I heard some whisperings of, more respectfully, that sentiment with Dan. We pulled up the stats last week of teams that rest their guys going into divisional round, that have a bye or play the next week. I mean, it's just not as simple as that. Like, the majority of teams that rest their guys lose in the divisional round. Now, wild card, we didn't look at that, but had he rested those guys, who knows? Laporta could get hurt any play this year.
Kelsey was set to play yesterday because he needed 16 yards to get to his 8th season of 1,000 yards or more. And I believe that they probably saw the Laporta news.
And they were like, yeah, it's
take your fucking
probably not worth it because there was nothing to gain for them there.
Yeah.
They're locked into that spot.
Big guy.
And so I'm not just caping for Dan. I'm telling you, the numbers are on Dan's side when it comes to playing guys. And I heard Bill Cowher get up there on CBS, and I'm a huge Bill Cowher fan. But he was kind of like, yeah, you don't play them. And I don't know, did he ever play guys when
Yeah, so
this is interesting.
Jerome Bettis was rested.
So it was 2004. It was Big Ben's rookie year, and they rested Ben, Plaxico Burress, and Jerome Bettis in their week, like final.
But did
week.
they ever play guys when they didn't have to?
They played dudes when they didn't have to as well because they started a couple guys. In the
if you live in a
half.
glass house there, you know, like, it's easy to get on the post game and be like,
Wait, I'm not touching that shit.
But if he's played guys at some point in his career when he didn't have to, a lot of coaches have taken this risk. And so I don't.
Just whether you get snake bitten or not.
I don't look at Dan and say he ruined it for them. Now, this is a big deal for them.
And he said today, he actually said like 30 minutes ago that there's an outside chance he plays this week.
And, hey, that'd be a huge lift. I don't know what he'd look like. I've had bone bruises on my knee, which is like, ugh, it just makes you feel icky thinking about it. The bones just smacking together, and what happens is all that blood gets in there to try to heal the area, and you got a huge swelling issue. So, like, that's unpredictable. This guy's going to be trying to control his sweating.
Edema.
I can remember times where, like, I had a thigh bruise, and I spent probably every waking minute in compression or ice to try to get that thing down. I've gotten it drained where you got a bunch of blood pooling your thigh, and they put a big needle in there and suck it out. It's like black blood.
Jeez.
It's the same thing with knee. When you get your knee drained, it can really help. So we'll see if they can drain that
Never
thing.
had the trainers you had.
Well, Kyle, I think, like, with O-linemen, you're just generally
You were
swollen.
in the tree at Princess Bride. They were just like strapping you to the table and
Yeah. They were also
weird shit.
forcing me to play, not forcing me to play, but encouraging me to play when I
go on.
Well, no, I mean, you know, like,
Yeah.
there's plenty of tape out there where
Nudging
it's
you.
like, you know, you shouldn't.
They're nudging you.
But the bottom line is, I think the Lions can still win this game. I also think the Rams can win this game. And this is that nightmare scenario for Lions fans where you're like, you had to choose between the Packers, who throttled you on Thanksgiving, or was that Thanksgiving? It feels like a million years ago. And you got to choose between the Rams, who have this, like, emotional advantage over you, where it's like Matt Stafford coming home. Like, this would be terrible. This season capped off with
Nick
a
Mullins
loss.
went for 368. So, I mean, you got to think that Matt Stafford's going to be munching down those blue chews on that long flight from Los Angeles, getting ready to drop off some Johnny Sins at the old Ford Field. You know what I mean?
He's going to be dropping that dick off.
Something like that. He's going to show him how big the D really is.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know how to call this game. I will tell you, I already bet the Rams at +3. I think it was at like +5 when it opened, and everybody jumped on it.
I'm betting the Rams.
I'd like to think the Sharps jumped on it. I still think Dallas can win this game, but I think it's a close one. Or Detroit can win this game. I think it's a close one.